Most of us have spent our entire lives being told what's good and what's bad, what's wrong and what's right. Our parents tell us it's good to clean up and it's bad to leave a mess. Our teachers tell us it's good to study and it's bad to procrastinate. Our bosses tell us it's good to hit your targets and it's bad to miss your targets. Advertisers tell us it's good to have straight white teeth and it's bad to have no plans on a Friday night. Sometimes all these people tell us directly with their words, and more often they show us through their behavior, and then we intuit and internalize the rules based on who gets praise and who gets punished and who gets treated like a winner and who gets treated like a loser. In fact, it sticks even more strongly in our minds when those people show us rather than telling us. And because we spend our whole lives being surrounded by people telling us both implicitly and explicitly what's right and what's wrong, doing it right becomes a hero metric in our minds. It becomes the thing our brains are constantly scanning and monitoring and measuring and assessing 24/7 in the background. It's like a quiet background soundtrack that's been playing for so long in your mind that you probably don't even realize it's there unless you consciously turn your attention towards it. And it's constantly asking you, did I do it right? Did I do it right? Did I do it right? Am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it wrong? Did I do a good job? Did I do a bad job? Was that stupid? Was that brilliant? Should I have done that? Should I not have done that? The questions never turn off. And the emotional impact of the answers to those questions never turn off either. But I am here to tell you this. Doing it right doesn't exist. Doing it wrong doesn't exist. Doing a good job doesn't exist. Doing a bad job doesn't exist. Here's how I know that this is true. Let's use this very video as the proof. Is this a good video or a bad video? Am I doing this right or am I doing this wrong? I want you to imagine that I'm standing in front of a room of 300 people and I'm showing them this video and I'm asking them that question. Here's what I can guarantee. Every single person in that room would have a different answer to my question. Someone would say, this is the most brilliant video I've ever seen. It completely changed my life. Someone else would say, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This person is a fraud and a charlatan. Someone else would say, it's fine. It's mid. I mean, I've seen better. And someone else would say, the message is really good, but the writing is hacky and it's unsophisticated. And on and on and on and on. Every other possible opinion would also exist in that room. You think that when you ask, did I do this right? The voice of God comes down and tells you yes or no. Literally something like this. It feels to your brain like this is what's happening. But here's what really happens. You ask, did I do this right? And a cacophony of random voices gives you every possible response in the world. This is what actually happens when you ask the question, did I do this right? And this is what I mean when I say doing it right does not exist. There is no objective, universal standard of doing anything right or doing anything wrong in the world. Not anyone else's, and not even your own. Even your own standard changes with time, mood, context, and a million other variables. You really think, or at least your brain really thinks, that there is one clean, universal, yes or no right answer to this question of did I do it right? But in reality, there is only an ocean rainbow cacophony of responses that constantly change based on who you ask, when you ask, how you ask, what else is going on when you ask, whether you ask again, whether you ask alone, in a group, ask in the morning, ask in the evening, or anything else that you could think of. Which is why I'm telling you, am I doing it right is a terrible hero metric. am I doing a good job is not a helpful question to keep on loop 24/7 in your brain. So here's what I want you to do next. Before you rush in and ask me, okay, but what question should I be asking instead? Pause. Take a breath. Don't be in such a big rush to swap one false certainty for another one metric for another, one rubric for another, one structure for another, one framework for another, one meaning for a different but equally limiting meaning. Instead, I want you to stay here for a while in the nothingness. Stay here in the I don't know. Notice what the silence sounds like. Hear the wind whistling in the space where something used to be. This is the truth. In truth, there's nothing.